Jalen, how you doing? How are you? Second time here, two-time college champion, second opportunity to become a world champion. How do you feel? And don't forget a shout out to H-Town and the Channelview High School people are watching.
Yeah, it's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to be here. You know, as I've said, you put a lot of hard work in for moments like this. Lots of hard work, lots of time, lots of energy, and it's a blessing to have this opportunity.
Jalen,
What about H-Town?
Oh, always repping. Hardly home, but always repping.
You're no stranger to changing systems with offensive coordinators coming and going throughout your career. What's it been like for you to play with Kellen Moore in this system throughout the season and go on the Super Bowl run?
Yeah, I think it's been great just being able to learn from Coach Kellen, the different things he's been able to bring in, taking those things all in. And, you know, for me, I've always prided myself on trying to quantify my work and quantify what I know, and not letting what I don't know get in the way of what could be. And so always exposing myself to those opportunities of growth, and I've been able to do that over the course of my career because it's always been a revolving door there.
Jalen, over this.
When you said when you look in the mirror as a man and control the things that you can't control, that's how you get better. How many times have you reiterated that to yourself this season during the knee injury, the concussion, and this game to this point?
It's just a mentality that's ingrained in me. That's how I've always carried myself. I've always prided myself on learning from the highs and the lows, you know, because they all come with it. You know, they're all one and the same. And so just taking everything with a grain of salt, being objective with the process, and just taking every opportunity I can to grow and having that approach in it.
Jalen, Kansas City.
Number one. Faith, family, and championships.
Jalen, you talked about your parents' influence. How your brother and sister also influenced your journey?
Everyone's had a great influence on that. You know, everybody's had a unique role in this whole journey, but everyone's role is important, and so you definitely want to have people of value pouring into you. And I've been fortunate along my journey to have everyone impact me in a positive way.
Jalen, Kansas City's defense.
I talked to Pastor Ted about you. He mentioned specifically spiritual growth. How have you grown this year spiritually in your faith in Jesus?
I think my faith has always been a part of me where I've always wanted to root myself in that and keep him in the center of my life and everything that I do. And so, you know, through the highs and the lows, he's greater than all of them. And that's something that I can always acknowledge. And in the failed clutch of circumstance, I can always lean on and remember. And so that's something that we all should probably take note of and take lesson of.
Jalen, when I mention the name of Jesus, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
First thing that comes to mind is faith. Another thing that comes to mind is remaining steadfast and remaining endured.
Jalen, if you have the chance again to have a 10-point game differential this time, what would you difference on Sunday?
You have to find a way to finish. You know, you come into these opportunities in these games, everything is about finishing. You want to have the right focus in that, and that comes with the preparation, the work that you put in. But ultimately, it's about finishing.
Jalen, bigger picture question for you. When you take a step back and look at Patrick Mahomes' career, what stands out about him and what makes him so special?
And you got me with the bigger picture. We're focused on right here, what's in front of us. I have a ton of respect for him and their team, but we're focused on the opportunity at hand.
Nick talked about some meetings that he's been doing with you guys where he makes sure to highlight, you know, guys saying nice things about each other, the mic'd up moments of celebrations. That struck me as unusual. I just wondered what it's been like for you to be a part of those meetings, and do they mean something?
As far as what? What do you mean?
In terms of, like, I just wondered what it was like being in those meetings, what it meant to you to have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he does a great job in what he's doing. Everyone has their own different approach to how they go about their business, and he's been able to try and navigate his way, and he's been able to lead us to two NFC championships and 2 opportunities here. So we just kind of been a journey and everything.
What's it like in building culture, building brotherhood and camaraderie?
Yeah, like I said, everyone has their own way of navigating those things, and he's been able to find his way of doing that, and it's been able to get us to where we are now.
Jalen, you know what the championship would mean to Philadelphia. What would it mean for you to be part of the team that brings the championship home to those fans?
I mean, everything. You sacrifice a lot. You put a lot of time in for these opportunities, and so it's just something you want to take advantage of.
Jalen, Kendrick being the halftime performer and rap being a sport in itself, who do you got in the battle with Kendrick for
I'm not one to judge on that. I got a bit of an old soul, so I don't listen to neither as much.
You got a favorite album of all time?
Frankie Beverly, live album in New Orleans.
Who's on aux in the locker room?
And everybody has their own speaker, so.
Jalen, do you talk a little bit about the boom in sports gambling and how that affects you on the field, the pressure you might feel from gamblers who got money on the game?
No pressure. No pressure.
Jalen.
Just playing the game that I love.
Jalen, despite an awesome
investment strategy, stocks, bonds, real estate, crypto, can you talk a little bit about the way your own soul is invested?
No, not right now. Not right now. Thank you, though.
Despite an amazing start to your career, you still have a bunch of doubters. What can you say about proving them wrong this weekend?
It's not about them. It's always about the work you put in and everything being a reflection of the work. And so I've always had a focus on myself and trying to improve and ultimately want to beat the opponent, whoever's in front of you, but just trying to improve and take it a day at a time.
Jalen, how do you feel about Trump attending the Super Bowl?
He's welcome to do what he wants.
Jalen, why do
if
you
you had
think?
to name the play to win the Super Bowl, like the Philly special,
It depends on how the game goes and what transpires in the game.
Jalen, why do you think, you mentioned that you think you play better when you're doubted, why do you think people still continue to doubt you?
I'm not sure. Everyone has their own opinion and everyone has their own eye for the game, and sometimes people get stuck on narratives of the past, but ultimately just about the work. It's about quantifying my work and taking it a day at a time. That's what this journey has been for me.
Do you think it's about your play style? Some people describe you as a running quarterback. I don't know if that's how you describe yourself, but do you think it has anything to do with that?
I think in anything that I do, and I was thinking about this, in anything that I do, I'm going to do it my way. So whether that's how I play the game, how I dress, me wearing the hoop earring or whatever it is, how I lead, how I speak, I'm going to do it the way that I see best fit for the mission of the group and ultimately what my priorities are and where I place them. And so some things are what they are. So just take it a day at a time. I lean on my faith in that, and I lean on my work.
Jalen, in 2020 Super Bowl, you ended up being the leading rusher. This year, the rushing attack has been in the league. You're going up against one of the best rush defenses. Is it nice to have that pressure taken off of you to scramble and run with Saquon, the offensive line, playing how they are?
I think he's here so we don't have to be in that situation again.
Jalen, what's different about yourself this year compared to 2 years ago? What have you learned?
I'm sorry?
2 years since your last Super Bowl appearance, what is different about yourself now from 2 years ago?
Just the growth and the time. There's always, every day there's a new lesson and learning opportunity in every day. And thinking about all the games we've played since then, all the moments we've had, all the opportunities we've had, just being a more mature person, growing, better leader, all of these things that I've been able to push myself and push the threshold of my whole entire career.
And as you know, the game's truly international these days, and fans of the UK will be up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Do you have a message for those fans in the UK cheering you on this weekend?
I appreciate the support. The Eagles appreciate the support and enjoy the show.
Jalen.
Stephen Bobby's coming this year, had an amazing year. What have you seen week in and out in practices that makes him so special?
Saquon Barkley. Yeah, he's a great player, great talent, great leader, and great presence, and he's very passionate about the game. And so I think when you watch him play, you see that. And accompanying him with the offensive line we have and the team we have, I think it's been very special for us, and it's been a big boost for us.
Jalen, speaking of the offensive line, you're playing behind the best offensive line in the league, second best time in a row. How does it feel being behind those big guys and keep the shots like them and what they're playing to get to the team?
Yeah, everybody's role is important, but how they get coached, how they work, the details that they put in and everything that they do, it's pretty amazing. And you've seen over the years how it's evolved, and we've had different guys growing into different roles. Obviously got Cam Jurgens stepping in for Jason Kelsey, and he's done that with grace. He stepped in, eager to work, eager to take it over, and he's done just that, being a Pro Bowler this year. So that group is a special group. They're coached by a special coach, one of the best coaches I've ever been coached by. Been Coach Stowlin, and he has a great impact on that group and his team as a whole. And so, very proud of those guys up front.
How have you been able to cut down your interceptions from 15 last year to 5 this year? What's been the biggest change?
It's a little bit of it's been approach. I think from each play caller, things change, and so I think those are always a reflection of everything else, kind of how you're being coached, what you're being told to do, how you're being told to do it, and so yeah.
Jalen.
Jordan's campaign rate this year. He speaks to the memories of just watching Jordan growing up, and has his play style affected you in any way?
Well, I was born in '98, so I think that was the last time we won a championship. But just to be a part of the Jordan brand and being where I am in the football side of it, it's a blessing. Growing up, I always thought about. I would always watch LeBron, you know, and then I'm like, well, okay, where did he get it from? You know, then you learn more about Kobe. You know, it's like, well, Kobe, where did he get it from? And kind of get to the root of it in Michael Jordan and what he's been able to be and the president he set for sports culture and competitive culture and competitive sports. And so to be a part of that, to be able to carry that torch and pave my own lane for those watching now. It's special. It's special. So they tried to take those cleats. Yeah, go ahead.
Jalen Brand's pushing the whole band shoe kind of motion. We've had 2 shoes in games. Will you be wearing 2 shoes? Will you pick up a fine in the Super Bowl this year?
I don't know. We'll see. I usually pick up. I usually decide right before the game what shoes I wear. And that was a very organic thing that happened. I was like, let me throw these on, and they banned me for it. So unbannable, clearly.
How has your faith helped you throughout the season? And do you have any scripture that keeps you locked in during the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think faith is the center of everything that you do. Just being grounded and being rooted in that. And I think John 13:7 has always been my favorite scripture. Jesus replied, "Now you may not know now, but later you understand." It's always been one of my favorites.
Jalen, we've seen the stories about your financial savviness. What's your philosophy there, and who inspired you? Was it Dave Ramsey or who was it?
As a kid, I tell you this. As a kid, I'd always get gifts, and I'd always get gift cards and money, and Christmas, all these holidays and stuff. And I never won anything. I wasn't really ever a needy person, and so just started saving in. So that's always kind of been my mentality. Get what you need, and kind of don't abuse it a little bit. Just because you can't get it don't mean you need it. So it's always been my approach with a lot of things.
First of all, we love you in Mexico.
Thank you. I've never been. Yeah, maybe I need to go.
And the second one, how do you handle the comparisons that they make between the hosts?
Everybody has their own way of playing the game. I think one thing about the two of us, we've always found ways to win. 2 Texas kids playing at the pinnacle of football, and so it's great opportunity again for the both of us to go out there and duke it out. Thank you.
Is there added pressure to trophy chasing?
No, man.
Jalen, the Eagles are one of the most passionate teams in sports. Or 3 of your teammates yourself, you're a big fan.
I don't pay attention that much. I'm not paying attention to them. I can't lie to you.
On your own personal style, you pull off the big hits, what's one thing you'll never be caught wearing?
I don't know. Some things. Yeah, I don't know. Thank you.
How have you grown as a quarterback over the last 2 years?
Well, I think I've grown every year, not just the last 2 years, but every year. It's a lot of work that gets put into this. In this profession, this duty of mine requires a lot of you, and just to work. Always trying to quantify my work. Always trying to take steps. I've grown in areas mentally, as a leader, all areas. Cam has been awesome. Cam has been awesome. He's put forth the effort to do everything he's been able to do in his first year being a center, being a Pro Bowler, how he communicates, how he sees it. Very, very smart player, a very detailed player. So I think he's done a really good job, and I know there's been a lot of questioning around that coming in, but I think he's done a great job and he's been able to lead that group to a Super Bowl appearance and an NFC Championship. I just want to show some appreciation to him. It was something I was able to do last time we went to the Super Bowl, and more so a way of communicating a message to him. Left him with a good note, and left him with some beats. So. That's a fair description. It's changed. I've evolved. I think as a player, as a leader, all of these different things. I've been able to grow and learn from these different things. But ultimately, the flame has been ignited even more in terms of the desire of wanting to win and working to win. You can't just bank on hoping for results to come without the work. And so I think all of those things have kind of come in one. Just working for opportunities like this and on that desire of having these opportunities being number one. And being in that, always been in pursuit of that.
What's your favorite memory of me?
Favorite memory? I got so many. My whole childhood was there. But I'd probably say my favorite childhood memories in regards to the game is just being a coach's kid, being on the sideline, being there for my dad and his teams growing up. Felt like I was a part of the team as a 6-year-old and 7-year-old, and I grew up and I ended up being the one on the field. And so to see how that kind of happened in that transition, it was real cool. And to be able to reflect now and know that there are so many kids or so many men that I watched when they were in high school, when I was a kid, that are supporting me now, and they're, wearing my jerseys, and their families wearing my jerseys. Just a whole line of support. I think that speaks volumes to what it's all about. I don't even know. I don't know. A lot. No, I got other things to do.
You mentioned Beverly. He was from Philadelphia. He mentioned a lot to the city as New Orleans. What it means for you to cement your legacy here in New Orleans, being from Philadelphia Eagles. Can you say a little bit about what it meant to you?
Well, that's something that I've thought a lot about. That. Just knowing what he meant to the city, you would have thought he was from New Orleans. Him being in the Essence, coming to the Essence Fest a good bit, but I know he's here in spirit, and definitely has always had a special place in my heart. Will continue to have a special place in my heart, and yeah.
What's your favorite maze?
Joy and pain and happy feelings.
What would you say about Young's quarterbacks, especially overseas, step up their game? What advice would you give?
Just stay with it. I think knowledge is everything, and so trying to learn as much as you can, and then being able to apply what you learn, I think that's very important. We can have all the knowledge in the world, but if we don't apply it, it means nothing. So that's my advice to the young players growing, trying to better their game. Same thing, man. I'm just hoping that this sport can continue to expand so everyone has the opportunity to play the game and I know it's a game that I grew up loving. And I had a lot of different sports that were exposed to me too. You know, I had basketball, soccer, baseball, and I really love baseball. But it was something about the football that kept me sticking with it, and so it's brought me a very far way. And I'm thankful for that. Hopefully, there are a lot of other kids that can have that same testimony when it's all said and done for them.
I'm a special Olympics athlete. What does inclusion mean to you?
It means everything, man. It means everything. Have an opportunity to pursue whatever it is you're passionate about and whatever it is you love. So I think that's very important.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What does Brandon Graham mean what he does to your team and your city? Brandon Graham.
Yeah, BG. I'm amazed by how long he's been able to play the game, and play it at a high level. And I think for him, he's evolved as a person as his career has gone on, and as you expect for anyone. But the player he is right now, been pretty impressive for him to be playing at such a high level at this late in his career. And I think for him, as a leader, as a presence, I think that speaks for itself. Thank you. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. When you begin it all, is you look at the opportunity of having that chance to go to Brazil and do something that's never been done before. And you think about all the other sports that have the opportunity to go to other places on a more consistent basis, and you look back, you want to say that you were able to do some fun things, some cool things, and be a part of the evolution of the game. And I think us going to Brazil was definitely an example of that. And so it's a great start to the year, and hopefully we can finish it off just as special.
Jalen, when you went to Brazil,
yeah, he's a great player. He's a great player. They got a great team. It's a great challenge for us.
Jalen, this is your first year.
I mean, that's for everyone else to talk about, It's everyone else to talk about. I think my goal has always been to win regardless of the magnitude of the game, and so that approach will remain.
Jalen, this is your first year under Kellen Moore. What has his arrival in Philadelphia meant for the development of this offense as a whole and your growth as an individual?
I think he's brought different ideas. He's brought a different approach. I think my whole vantage point has always been to learn as much as I can, and so I've had a different coordinator, different voice, different coordinator, however you want to say it, almost every year of my career. And so my whole vantage point, my whole approach has been to just to learn as much as I can, take those different things in and apply them to my game, and find ways to win in the end.
When you went to OU just a few years ago, what was your Logies word?
Logies. I don't even know that I've ever. I don't even remember. Logies was like a food restaurant. They had like wings, burgers. Yeah, I don't remember. It's been so long. Yeah, I don't remember.
Jalen,
I didn't do much when I was in
last time
Oklahoma.
you were at the Super Bowl, you had the league-leading RPO usage on offense. Since then, it's almost halved, and RPO usage is down league-wide. Why do you think that might be?
Different approach. The game changes. The game changes from year to year. And everybody goes through their phases of certain things being available and certain things not being available, and so that's just kind of the nature of the game. But ultimately, it's about coming together and finding ways to win and whatever it takes, and so that's the beauty of it.
Jalen, you played in a lot of different.
Thank you. Thank you.
How would you describe the level of trust that you have in your offense?
I have a great deal of trust in the talent we have, and the mentality that those players have with every day that they approach it. Everyone's trying to be the best that they can be, and ultimately navigating all those things and putting all hands on deck to trying to find ways to win the games is what's most important. And so I got a great deal of confidence in the talent we have.
Jalen, you've played in a lot of different.
Ask me in a week or so. I think he'll be great whatever happens. I know he's great. I'll say this. I'll say that he's learned a lot over the course of his career. He has a very unique way of seeing the game, having played the quarterback position. And I know his name has been around it for a very long time. And so if that is to happen, it's to happen. But I know his focus is purely on winning this game and leading us to a victory.
Jalen, you've played in a lot of different offenses throughout your NFL career. What specifically about the Eagles' offense suits you so well?
Well, the Eagles' offense changes from year to year. So I think I've been able to make it whatever it's supposed to be in the sense of what my role is or what I'm asked to do.
And if you were mic'd up in one game and you could only say one phrase throughout the entire game, what would that phrase be?
I don't know.
I'm sorry if you probably had this question a million times, but I'm going to ask it for the first time.
Okay.
What is the difference in this team this year versus the last time you guys were? I mean, obviously, other than Saquon.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the obvious differences. I think everyone's just matured. Everyone's been able to grow, learn from those things, and I think last time we were here, we had a veteran group that had been here and done it before and experienced it before, and I think now we're younger, a lot younger, and so it's a matter of knowing what it takes and having an appropriate focus going into it and going into this whole week, and we've been able to finish all year, so hopefully we can find a way to muster that out again.
What was your reaction to the Luka trade?
Yeah, it was pretty shocking. Fan from afar, fan from both of those guys from afar, but they're great talents and just anxious to see how it turns out.
Jalen, you guys started the year 2-2, win your bye week, 15-1 since then. Did you find a spark in your bye week? What does it say about your team that you're able to turn around?
No, I think it was always within us. It's just a matter of it coming out and bringing it to life.
What can you say about Nico Rams as a person? How is Nico Rams as a person?
He's a great person.
And what about Zach Bond? What about Zach Bond?
Zach Bond? Yeah. I think he's been great as well. A great story for Zach. Kind of being a special teams player and a kind of a role player for a very long time and coming in and being an All-Pro, and he probably brings home the Defensive Player of the Year. Has my vote for sure in that. He's been a hell of an addition for us. He's always had that humility about him and come in and working, and even when they were in that competition in the spring, in the off season, and in training camp, he was just all about the grind, and so to see him forge himself into this position, and around here, hopefully bring some stability at the linebacker position for our team. He's been great.
Would you like to play something in Mexico one day?
I love that.
What would you say your percentage is health-wise?
I'm not going to give you a number, but I'll be ready to go.
What is CJ meant to this team this year? How do you see him grow since last time?
Well, CJ's always been an important piece. I hate that he ever left. I knew the spark that he brought us the first time around. And then him experiencing those things that we all experienced together, he was all a part of that. And so I know his eagerness to win has always been there, is there. And he's a very smart player, too. I think that's something that he doesn't get a lot of credit for. His time in New Orleans and playing the nickelback position and being that versatile player on the defensive back group, I think that adds a lot of value to us.
Jalen, what's the difference?
It was something that happened very organically, and honestly, just seeking out a group that is a great group, and I kind of ran across it, but just seeking out someone to serve, and we've been able to do some very special things in the city through the Jalen Hurts Foundation, and just trying to serve and progress and mentor whoever's in need of it, and I know even for me to have these opportunities right now could be the next kid in the KB mentorship group that ends up doing special things, whatever avenue they choose to go down. But That's what it's always been about. You know, you reach one and teach one and uplift as you climb. And so, you know, just having the opportunity to have the impact on these kids and try and guide them in the right direction, give them some uplift and some influence and encouragement. And that means everything. That's what it's all about.
Jalen, you've spoken about this before. Even for people who may not be aware, you have a female-led team, a woman who leads your foundation. Can you speak to your intention behind why you hire and work with so many women?
Yeah, I think that was something that kind of happened organically as well. But it turned into something that allowed me to see different perspective of things. And so it gave me the eye that I didn't have. And I think that's the power of a woman in that. Yeah. No, I wasn't inspired by anything. That's just kind of how I woke up feeling. I was giving Jalen Hurts for sure. That's what I was going for, and that's what I say. I was just saying something earlier, but you know, in anything that I do, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it, and the way I choose to do it. And so whether that's how I play, how I dress, how I lead, how I approach, and all those things, you gear yourself towards trying to do it in a positive way and in an efficient way. But yeah, it's just the vibe is whatever I want it to be.
But who are maybe top 5 your favorite players coming up when you were watching?
I won't say top 5. I'll say Michael Vick was one to watch. Tyrann Mathieu was one that was always fun to watch. He got me on the pick this year. I didn't like that. I gave him one. Cam Newton was always fun to watch. Tom Brady was fun to watch. Peyton Manning was fun to watch. Aaron McNair, very fun to watch. Donovan McNabb. And then you start getting older. I got to go on YouTube to go watch some of those other guys. But Randall Cunningham always was fun. And Warren Moon, just learning the history of the game, learning from those guys. Steve Young, all those guys.
What's your reaction to you are an example of somebody who leaning into
No, just my journey, taking it a day at a time. Just always taking things a day at a time. Always wanted to quantify my work, put forth a good effort, and be the best that I could be. That's always been my goal.
Thanks,